the FCC raised their definition of broadband on the very same day that we uploaded that video saying, hey, your internet is probably too fast. And I knew that title was going to be a little bit baity because I know a lot of people do not have internet that is too fast. Because what I was talking about was how there's a practical limit to how much benefit you can get from faster internet.
I haven't watched it, but I agree.
We basically go through all the reasons you might think you need faster internet.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a top-of-the-line gaming PC, and your reason is that you want to download games faster...
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
There's basically... There's not much.
Check your system resources. To
crack gigabit, to get higher than gigabit, you basically need a very modern, high-performance gaming PC. To crack 2.5 gig, because there are home internet connections that are 2.5 gig or even greater. But to reach download speeds that high on anything that needs to be unpacked as you're downloading it, you need like a Threadripper, essentially. And so we go through a lot of the considerations, like how much of your regular surfing is actually going to be a DNS lookup or loading in additional trackers and other content on the page versus what is actually raw download speed. We talk about how download
sites even offer that.
Download speed spool, right?
Yeah.
Most pages are so small, you're not going to get anywhere near.
It's not going to,
this like greater than gigabit speed when you're browsing the web. It's just not going to happen.
Won't ramp up in time.
We discuss some of the benefits, like faster chunk loading if you're watching Netflix or YouTube or floatplane.com or whatever the case may be. But we also kind of debunk some of the big reasons that some people pay for Mondo home internet. And those are, self-hosting or Linux ISO sharing. We're kind of like, look, why don't you just use a seed box? They're so cheap.
Both of those things, honestly, unless you're doing it for like home lab, I want to learn about IT stuff reasons.
Subakashi says, just think of a family of 5 with everyone using it at the same time. Okay, I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
What are the odds?
Thinking about it.
What are the odds that everyone is doing something at exactly the same time?
And doing something heavy.
Even if you're all watching... See, this is something a lot of people don't realize. Even if you're all watching 4K Netflix...
It won't be enough.
You're all pulling down chunks.
Yeah.
So the connection is still going to sit idle a lot of the time. Now, there are types of content streaming that are less optimized. And so we kind of touch on things like Twitch, for example, especially broadcasting Twitch. But even then, the bit rates are so much lower that as long as you've got a few hundred megabits symmetric, we're kind of at an it's enough point right now, where if you have a Mondo machine and it's all about, loading the latest game, installing the latest game on your system as fast as possible, by all means, get a more expensive internet connection or whatever, sure. But beyond that, until the infrastructure changes outside of your home, in the services that you're using, we're basically there.
There isn't an insane amount of incentive for that because honestly, load times are pretty darn good.
Things are kind of fast enough. I mean, Google stopped even... we talked about this a few weeks ago, right? Where Google stopped having cached pages because they're just like, I don't know, the web's pretty reliable. I don't know. Anyway, on that same day, the FCC quadrupled the minimum internet speed that's required to label it broadband, which is a really good thing because what I won't argue with is that for a lot of people, their internet is not fast enough.
Agreed.
The agency concluded that the minimum speed an ISP must offer to market their service as broadband should be increased to 100 megabit down, 20 megabit up. This is the first increase since 2015 when it was set at 25.3. I actually think that's pretty reasonable. I think 100 down being broadband is pretty reasonable. And Luke, remember you're a content creator. Upload actually doesn't matter to most people.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I care about it a lot.
I care about it a lot.
Yep.
Like a lot.
Most people are basically never going to use it though.
So with that in mind, it's... I wouldn't describe it as the greatest broadband, and it doesn't even meet the threshold for what in our video we said would be kind of the most you'd need. It's not there yet. I would still
I do think more people than in the past are heavily using Upload now, though. More work from home is happening.
Oh, that's totally true.
More school from home is happening, and you might not necessarily foresee school from home because the whole RIP in peace forever. But snow days are now being like remote school days. That's a bummer.
I know, right?